At the start of this game, the Bengals offense didn't have a lot of traditional 3-step, 5-step drops in the pocket for Driscoll. They had him moving around in rolling pockets and play action rollouts and whatever, and they tried to limit the amount of, traditional protection sets from this configuration of the offensive line. Second quarter starts. Now we have a 5-step drop from Driscoll, and we have the first major pressure of the game allowed by Billy Price. So off the snap, you can see the plan from defensive tackle Shelby Harris, explodes off the line and really attacks, gets Price to open up to mirror his rush, right, in this form of slide protection. And just a simple shove to Price's inside shoulder pad gets him completely off kiltered, off base, feet are crossed. No way he has any chance of recovering. He would have to spin around at this point, which only like Jason Kelsey and a few other centers in the league can do to try to, knock Miller off of this path right here. Miller has him beat, finishes with the swim move. Price's short, stubby arms aren't able to impede Harris from this clear path to the sack that he ends up getting. Long to go distance for the Bengals there. Next drive, another, what is this? Yeah, second and long, second and 19, which is kind of a theme for this game. We're going to see Bobby Hart. It's just Cedric Ogbuehi in number 68 here against Von Miller. Yeah, that looks a lot like Ogbuehi to me, guys. Where exactly is Frank Pollock's aggressive pass protection techniques here? There's no punch there. He's just allowing one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, Von Miller, dictate how the rep is going to go. Miller sees Hart's chest wide open. Hart has successfully, entered his kick slide and mirrored Miller the entire way. Miller knows that he's got the leverage advantage here, and he's got the length advantage here because Hart has done nothing with his hands up to this point. Long arms him right back into Driscoll, meets Shelby Harris on the other side, who beats Trey Hopkins like a drum, gets him to bend at the waist, a little outside swim move. Driscoll is sacked again. So now, later in the game, now we're in the third quarter, a third and long. Again, Alex Redmond, who's kind of on the field for his aggressive pass protection technique and how, he loves how Frank Pollock allows him to do that. That was like an actual quote from before week 1. Again, just letting the defender dictate how the rip is going to go. Gets a little outside chop right on the shoulder pad here. Opens up Redmond's hips. He's not quick enough to mirror this. Luckily, Driscoll stands in the pocket, steps into this throw as much as he can, and that's a throw that, we kind of expected Driscoll to have one or two of these because he's shown he's able to do that, to trust Boyd up the seam. Unfortunately, Boyd didn't catch another ball after this slight concussion scare. But again, there was no aggressiveness in pass protection against this Broncos front, and this was just another example, and Redmond's just beaten like a drum, and luckily this wasn't a sack. So now we're in the fourth quarter here, only 3 minutes to go. Bengals down by 2 touchdowns, need a score here quick. This is why Clint Bolin's not a left tackle. He's just not used to taking these kick slides off the edge to try to match this amount of speed and bend around the edge. Bradley Chubb is not the most flexible pass rusher in the league, but he's very nuanced and advanced for being a rookie. And that's why he has 10 sacks on the year. He's able to strike hard on the outside to kind of soften the edge. Bowling at this point didn't quite get out to where he needed to on this kick slide. It just compromised. Chubb does enough to kind of bend around him, limit the surface area that Bowling can possibly get his hands on him at this point. Driscoll's blindsided. Strip sack, ball game.